Get into our first best of 7 of the day. Team BDS against Vitality. Who is going to move on?
The upper bracket finals upon us, ladies and gentlemen, and how good is it to sit alongside Mr. Shogun for our first real, just authentic official cast together, I feel like. Yeah. It just keeps on happening, but right now we have an absolute belter of a series upon us, and though everyone at home, Shogun, will be very pumped for this matchup. Vitality are just so exciting to watch and good to see.
Myself.
As we're just going to kick this one off, Mr. Shogun's just decided to leave me here. It's unbelievable. I just want to hang out with him for 1 second, and he just disappears when I want him the most. Then maybe on net, Shogun. Hey, you're back.
Somehow, through the art of throwing, I managed to break the space-time continuum. That's a great job by me and a great job by Zen. You see, it didn't miss anything.
Didn't miss anything. Look, you
I love
just
that
came
you
right.
Start this off, by the way. I have a conversation about how we never seem to work together.
Can we just pretend, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the upper final. It's great to be here with Shogun, and it might have started 1-0. It's been a little bit haphazard, but rest assured, we are in business right now, Shogun. It's good to have you here. It's a pleasure.
It's certainly nice to be here. It's very fun to watch which one of these teams can potentially move on through. I feel like Vitality proved a lot of things to us because I was mentioning yesterday on the cast of Achieves, it's very easy when you are coming into the RLCS to imagine, oh, it's just going to be playing good Rocket League. But you'll be able to attest, DJ, there are times where the series just gets weird. There's technical problems. There's things outside of your control, and you just have to stay locked in. And that's incredibly difficult, and they managed it.
Yeah, both sides really have had tough upper semi-finals, and both going to Game 7. Vitality, they look down and out. I was tweeting about how Vitality will be worried about that Hogan mode, the Gold brothers down in the lower bracket, but they found a way against Liquid, and then it was the same with BDS. They were 2 goals down in that Game 6, coming up against K-Corp. They found a way, they got back, and they won Game 7. So both sides going through some trials and tribulations, but both sides look just in form right now.
Yeah, BDS. He's trying to add to their score. Seiko! Incredible shot from him, and that has been the player with the most question marks around him. He's the one that has been under the most scrutiny, and a play like that is much required.
Respect to Rise there. He's completely faked out Zen in net. Zen trying to cover every single angle possible, and well, it was all Seiko in the end, getting the double touch off the sidewall. A unique goal, and Seiko Shogun, he's a bit of a unique player. Just the way he moves his car, you can almost tell without a nameplate that it is Seiko. He's not the spinny tornado operator. He's quite steady with his movement and purposeful.
It has made him on occasion a little bit readable. I mean, a lot of the players that do that, at least they're able to disguise what their intention is. Seiko is very open with the cards that he's playing. The fact is, he's better at playing those cards than you are, and as you can see, he goes for the challenge. Demo as well. Bump. Redosen's all by himself. Almost got clad into. Doesn't avoid it, at least for now, but this has been a hectic start to this first game.
Yeah, this is the BDS special right now. They're just throwing caution to the wind in offense. It almost feels like sometimes when BDS are in top form, they don't have a third man. They're just so aggressive, but it can't come back to bite them. Here's the demos, and there it is, counter-attack Vitality. They make the most of that no third man.
You can just see the screen freeze and it all go black and white for Rise for a second. Just at this moment he knew, and unfortunately he was completely correct. 2-1, Vitality were up against the run of play. That did not matter. One mistake, one easy pickup, one easy demo, and Vitality are now on the hunt for a second.
They're back in business now, as it was Seiko to get them back level pegging, but again, as right on cue, as I was just talking about BDS's, I guess, positives, their biggest strengths, and sometimes it can come back to bite them as their biggest weakness. They're just committing too hard and leaving Rise in that one-on-one. It's a free demo for Vitality, and right now, Shogun, they're looking in control.
It's an interesting stylistic matchup, now that you mention that aloud, because we've seen Vitality. The word of the split for them has been trust. Just all the time. They trust to not have to rush back, and now they're going to trust Alpha to turn that in for a 3-1. They just rely on each other to play what they need to do. And if they are going to leave Rise back, or any player back, for a potential 3v1 cover, the demos are going to be hunted for. That will be play one for Vitality. And if BDS are going to stand a chance in this series, they need to find a way to avoid that.
Yeah, Vitality have that conventional playstyle, whereas, as we said with BDS, a little bit more unconventional, but it has certainly worked well for them over the course of last season in particular. We saw what they did at the World Championship. Now Rise is seemingly filling that role well, but these open nets won't be BDS's recipe for success as Alpha gets the 4th on the board.
Well, the opening 2 minutes look very positive. The 2 minutes preceding that have been all Vitality. You know, smashing through Team BDS. Alpha now got a hat trick. Well, this is what happens when it's not quite a stop-start for them. You let Vitality get up and running. BDS need to find something. They need to find some glimmer of confidence that they can get from this game, because it's very quickly getting away from them. Can Monkey Moon provide? Radosin just hovered on the backboard. I think if we had like a heat map of where Radosin plays, it is like 40% on his own team's backboard.
Yeah, and it's 20% shooting on his own team's net as well. Radosin we've seen before in a few other regionals. It's a little bit questionable. I know that Johnny was having a good laugh about that.
That's on the whiteboard today. Radosin, please don't.
Please don't. Look, he's got chaos, but I think the team loves him for that as well. You don't know what you're going to get, but Zen is just offloading this one to that man we're talking about, and Vitality are running away with game one.
Is this a goal steal? Is this a stat pad? This is a stat pad.
No, 100%. It's a beautiful pass, I think. Zen has just found him there. And
CJ is only saying this because if we go for his career and we start removing these, that would be a good 30% of them off the board.
It'd be so many. It'd be so many. But I mean, look,
you need the CJ, the Stumpy Goblin shooting. Just, oh my god, could you imagine the debuff if you put Com and Stumpy Goblin onto a team?
Wow. I think the world might break, and I think it's HO.
I don't think the servers can figure that one out.
It's not going to be able to find that one on net. I mean, we've talked about BDS a lot in game number one, and that's because Vitality, they're the benchmark, Shogun. We know what we're going to get with them. We've seen it in the first 2 regionals, and we're just sort of looking for a crack in the, a kink in the armor here, and a way to get back in and wait for these teams to find just an avenue to score. And it was Seiko to get 1 goal on the board, but since then it was Vitality, the counter-attacks, the pass plays, the midfield dominance. I mean, that is just super impressive from this team.
They got smashed. They got outright smashed by Team Vitality, because Team Vitality have got that little bit of something special. We seem to have this every single time we have one of the top teams in Europe. They are just better on Sunday. Any questions that you have, any issues that they've shown up to that point. I mean, KC, all the way through this split, whilst they were the top team in Europe, struggled a little bit, and they made everyone think, oh, maybe they're off this weekend. And then they went ahead and beat everybody. We had the same thing with BDS. Less so with Dignitas when they're in their heyday, but even teams like Vitality back in like Season 8, I mean, they were rough all the way up until it was a Sunday that they were required to play well at. It just seems to be what champions do.
I mean, they're just clutch right now, and we saw it in the Liquid series, as I said yesterday. They looked down and out there. Liquid were on top. It's the best team Liquid have played, but then Vitality, they just go up another notch. Game 6, when push comes to shove, they're facing match point. They get the job done, and they did it in 7 as well. So Vitality right now, as we said, they're looking pretty bulletproof, but BDS, they are slow starters. They've done this so many times before. They can find a way back in, just like they did against K-Corp yesterday.
So for this Vitality squad, they have only been beaten once. That was by KC in the bracket reset, or to reset the bracket, I should say. They still went on to beat K-Corp again afterwards and win the whole thing, so hey, even when they lose, they still win. But BDS looking to try and give the first real shadow of a doubt to this Vitality team. This is a heavy commit to start us off. Monkey Moon tries to turn. I think Liquid were onto something against Vitality yesterday. They weren't quite able to get the job done, but I think you have to match the pace, because this is rough right now. You cannot stop moving against this Vitality team, because your car will not survive the incoming demo.
Yeah, this is a problem, though. We saw Rise and Monkey Moon both tracking back in defense. There was no one there. Again, no third man ready to sweep in. That means they just get caught front post. They track back, and then they have to stop. backpedal, get behind each other, and by that point, Shogun, they are just demo targets. They have a big red cross on their head saying, hit me right here, please. And that's what Vitality are doing. Alpha just cleaning up.
Oh, that's in. That's it. Oh, my goodness. Well, I think I hit the crossbar originally, and Zen was able to get back afterwards. I can't tell if that was off a bump or if there was a miscommunication on Vitality's side. Either way, BDS are in a fantastic spot to play. Monkey Moon moves in. He's unchallenged. Goes backboard double. Needs someone to follow. Rises off the off angle. And Zen will just calm it down for now. You see on the boost totals as well, Vitality are relatively comfortable with a few players, especially with them covering the backboard. BDS have got to make something from this. This is as good as it's got for them. They've got the pass, they've got the goal.
They've just popped it over the top in midfield. Monkey Moon does the rest. Look at the trust in the three-man pass play. Seiko just getting it inches over the top of Radosin in the midfield. And Monkey Moon will show you he is going to put that one away every day of the week. BDS, that's a three-man pass play that we like to see. We even saw it yesterday in the series against K-Corp, just using that extra pass and having that composure in front of net.
BDS, they are now back in this. Managed to keep it relatively competitive for the first 2 minutes last time, but it went all downhill afterwards. Rice takes his time against Alpha. That has not been a winning strategy for most of this tournament. And it almost resulted in another goal. Seiko denies at least for now. Oh, this is awkward. Rice, he's not got it, but he needed Seiko to help.
Oh, desperately close there. BDS hanging on by a thread. Alpha 54 setting up off the ceiling. Double. Drops it down. Doesn't quite get the power on it. And BDS, they're just getting swept through their back lines right now. The demo's coming through. Zen also just charging downfield. Vitality, this is a sight to behold right now, this offense. Seiko needs to get a huge beat in midfield, does so. But even when BDS get the ball, they're just giving it up straight away to this man. You can't be doing that. Radosin going for 50-50s. Vitality Shogun just setting up this offense, and it is unrelenting.
I think there was a little brief period of play there that I really enjoyed what BDS were doing defensively, where they just went, when they tried to just find the 50 midair and then get the second player as quickly as possible. But this wait and see, you're waiting and seeing what Zen is going to do on the ball. I can't think of any idea I dislike more. Get to him. Whatever you can do, throw yourself at it. Who cares if you're out of the play for a while?
It's too scary to wait that long with a player of his caliber right now, especially only a player of his caliber, but just the form that he's in. And I don't even know if it's form, Shogun, or it's just him, because right now we've got 2 from 2 regionals where he's absolutely popped off. And right now, Alpha 54 is getting the bumps, popping off Seiko, helping the team out. Bazen is going to work, flip resets everywhere. BDS surviving, hanging on, grabbing the boost, everything they can. And finally working it out at defense.
Seiko was brilliant. Knew that he was on low boost. Knew that backboard wasn't an option because it didn't cover the angles he needed. So he went into the goal. Used the side of the goal as his way to get enough angle and enough leverage on the save. Has kept this at 1-1. Seiko's not giving himself a very good angle to play with. Rise down to Zen. That's a nice position for Zen. First touch was very heavy. Monkey Moon just sends himself. Gonna need more of that, but they need the follow-up nice and quick as well. Radosin. First touch. The demos are just everywhere. We need a demo count at this point. BDS have been brutalized. But they are still in this game. Seiko can be passed off to. Radosin gets contact. Seiko already up. Beats the first player. In comes Rise and he decides to just hold off.
Yeah, great touch there. And Radosin was so awkward, but he just did enough now. 8 seconds. Can BDS perhaps steal this one? Can they force an equalising game here? Rise, flip reset, ceiling, tries to get the dunk. We have overtime. And BDS almost didn't want it. They needed an extra 30 seconds there, Shogun. That was the first time we've seen an attack. But right now, they're straight back on defense. Alpha, you betcha he's getting the bump. Vitality have 2.
Watch from Rise's perspective and realize there was nothing. No option, no dimension, no timeline where he gets that ball away from Alpha. Checkmate, get bumped, 2-0 Vitality.
The kickoff is just the ultimate reset in Rocket League, and BDS, they had all the pressure, the boost control coming down to that last 15 seconds. All of a sudden, ball hits the ground and Vitality just get a free crack. Alpha 54, beautiful cheat on the kickoff. I know Johnny will be hating to seeing those kickoff goals in an upper bracket final of yet another season of Rocket League, the last regional, but there it is again. BDS calling the timeout straight away. Good decision, 2-0 down. It could get ugly if they didn't do it right here.
This is what, again, I'm going to keep harping back to top teams and what they do, because we had an entire year of this over here for Team BDS, where they were that top team, and every single time they played against another team, we just went, wow, that other team doesn't seem to be playing at their best anymore. And it's just, no. You're dealing with Vitality, you're dealing with the threats that they've got, and it's about playing into your win conditions. And right now, the win condition for Vitality is just get the solo plays going, and as soon as you are off the solo play, the recoveries on this team are so good, they are recovering in supersonic so they can go and get a demo. No boost used, no real detriment to the reset and to the recovery into defense. It is a lethal combination to be up against, and BDS just don't have answers.
Yeah, Vitality are playing, as I said, that more conventional style of Rocket League. They've got their clear first, second, third man, but as you said, the value they're getting out of each of those roles, just sweeping through the net, they're not the ones to rotate out straight away. If they can get another touch, if they can grab a boost, get a demo, they'll do so. And there is Alpha 54 just going to work in the overtime. It is business as usual there from Vitality on the face cams. And for BDS with the timeout, Shogun, well, we saw it yesterday with K-Corp, the ability for them to switch it up, not just between games, but during games as well. It does give me confidence in this lineup to be able to perhaps get some momentum and grab a game back in this series.
Yeah, I think you look at not only the players on the field, but the support staff around them. There will be ideas floating, and they will be more than aware that this isn't working. This needs to not be what we go with moving forwards. But for now, that is up for BDS to figure out. Vitality have set the pace, they've set the standards, and they're playing on a playstyle that we already know they can replicate, not just for 4 games in a row, but for 40. So, BDS, what are the answers you've got, my friends? Because you need an answer, and more importantly, you need this game.
Since the first regional, Vitality, they have been the hunted, and well, they've stepped up every single time. The ball has been in the other side's court. Right now, it's in BDS just to change things up, and what a clear off the kickoff there. Coming out, Vitality just so fast at every touch, getting so much value as well, but Redoson's hugely awkward. He has to pre-jump. And again, they're just making the right decisions at the right time. Zen now, he gets a one-on-one. He opts to just throw it to the sidewall. Perhaps not the best decision there from him as BDS do get the clear. They're lacking boost, though, Shogun. They're lacking an attacking bit of prowess here. Rise has to throw the ball up again. And this low boost right now is a problem for BDS, but it could be Vitality's issue to deal with. As Rise throws it on net, off the ceiling again. Monkey Moon in the center, but no touch coming through.
That was that boost problem that you were talking about. Rise got to the ceiling and then realized that he was out of any sort of resource. Alpha hasn't got any more to play with, but still forces a challenge. I just get worried for BDS every time they're in defense. Doesn't take much of an opportunity for your heart to go in your mouth. Monkey Moon in field, and well, Alpha's the only one there for it. Not quite who he was after. Zen past one, Rise off the challenge. That was an incredible play from Rise. Just needed to make sure he didn't lose it too badly in what was a very awkward position.
Yeah, that was interesting there. The infield from Monkey Moon to Seiko, but Seiko was so deep, not ready for the pass. Perhaps lacking a little bit of communication here, BDS, but Seiko, he's not worried. He's pushing forward. Zen, huge clear on net. Rise has to get to work. Does get the touch. And beats 2 as well. The dunk on Zen. Zen pops it so high to get it around him. The smart touch here is Alpha is very awkward. He gets beat for free. Seiko's there, but again, Redosin. Every time, Shogun, every time Vitality look awkward, there's someone there to help out, and there's someone like Zen to just throw it on net.
Zen has turned 2 challenges in a row here from defense into a shot on net. As Monkey Moon pops it high. Oh, there's your opportunity! And still contact. I think that was Redosin. You would be livid if you are BDS. What is it going to take?
That should have been a goal right there. The ball bounced in, bounced out, and then the touch was just enough to throw off the line, throw off the shot. BDS coming in for the follow-up to finish up, but They couldn't quite get it. This is the three-man pass play. This is what we like. Monkey Moon decides to stay down because Alpha does have the read on that time, and this is what Vitality do. You score on them one way, they shut that down and say, give us another avenue because we've got that one covered every day of the week here. And they're beginning their attack. They're pushing forward. Zen setting up perfectly. Third man, he's off the ceiling. He's got a reset. Monkey has the pre-jump. Rises awkward. Redosin up as well. Vitality every time, like you said, Shogun, every time they're in attack, you just feel more and more worried for BDS.
Oh, especially right now. Pass to Alpha off the side. Has he got time? Decides to put off the backboard one more, and Zen took the shot, shut down by Monkey Moon. It's fake from Alpha. Because he knows he's got that support. He knows how quickly his team recovers. The boom and clear, asking a little bit too much from Zen, but Alpha will happily take over. BDS. Oh, that's so difficult to make the right decision. Zen tried to get a hold of the keeper again. This is a good position now for BDS. They've looked a lot more equal to this game. And I'll tell you what, they've deserved the goal.
But BDS, I mean, they just had them in defense almost. It lulled them into a false sense of security. Zen, he was playing with fire, their third man, and all Rise needed to do was force a challenge and pick up the pace. And BDS this time, the tables have shifted, the tables have turned, and they get their opportunity to have a counter-attack.
I love that from BDS. Wrong esport, but they decided to send it down mid. And really, you've done all this work to get yourself a lead in a must-win game, and it's gone away because Redosin reads you so quickly.
Wow, it's a poor touch from Monkey Moon there off the ceiling. Just gets dunked straight away, and Redosin, a beautiful touch, as you said, getting a fantastic dunk, a great read. But at BDS, you feel like they can't give up those goals, but maybe it's Vitality that need to be worried because Alpha last game pinched one, and this time it's all about Seiko cheating up.
That's so difficult for Alpha. I think if he turns immediately to net, he's fine. But that's also against the possibility that the ball just gets controlled. So again, another kickoff goal. We're now even. And everything except scoreline in this game. Redosin, not there quick enough. It's been incredible for me in this one as Alpha looks for the top corner. Redosin sticks around. It's just demo a BDS goalkeeper every time.
This is an absolute demo.
Horrible. Rise, run away, Rise.
Zen's ready, but he just gets it wide. He just positioned a little bit close for that one. Vitality are absolutely throwing caution to the wind right now. 40 seconds left. There's still a lot of time, but a clear shift up in the game plan. BDS look a little bit rattled. Alpha's off the ceiling. I absolutely love it. Drop down, but the touch wasn't quite on. Zan trying to get some 50s, trying to get to work. He gets the dunk, he gets the open net, and he puts it away.
Again, a wasted touch. Rise went for the big win. Monkey Moon, oh my goodness, he thought Zen was done. He thought Zen didn't have the recovery. How could you ever think that about Zen? Of course Zen's got the recovery.
You betcha he's there every single time, and Monkey just threw that touch. I mean, it was so soft. He tried to keep it to himself, but he still had a man called Zen to beat, and well, the kid went to work.
Expected, all right, I've got a solo play here. Like, I think he just completely disregarded that Zen was still in that play.
His recoveries are so fast, which is probably what caught Monkey Moon out there. He managed to get the dunk. Now with 5 seconds left, scores level. Are we going to get another overtime? This felt like BDS's game. It felt all over bar the shouting, but here we go again. Overtime, please no kickoff goals.
Well, Seiko will take it from the ceiling. He's got 39 boosts to work with. Keeps moving onwards. Now that's nice for BDS. They can now move in from this spot. Rise, a little bit too far forward. Have BDS given up another one? No, Zen didn't get enough on the ball. And probably the most comfortable you've been against Zen so far is after he's been demoed, but that also means that he's in a nice defensive position.
He's always there, playing with fire, and I mean, right now...
He could get demoed and I'd still be looking over my shoulder.
I don't know what he's doing, but check his PC, ladies and gentlemen. Zen is just something special. As, again, we're seeing a lot of overcommitting last man, but you almost need to do this in this sort of a matchup. Open shot, can Rise get it underneath? Redosin's ready, and Seiko fires it wide. Zen parries it off to the side. Rise there, Alpha 54. BDS, it feels like their best opportunity to take a game and to perhaps get some momentum back, but Redosin is equal to every challenge. Vitality always can work it out, even when they look in trouble.
Nice pass. Seiko takes over. Up against Alpha on the wall, delays the original challenge. Now Monkey Moon gets the drop. Oh, it's almost an own goal! In from Monkey Moon. It is now an own goal from Zen. Nobody else got to it. Well, he is mortal.
Don't worry about checking his PC. He is human. He is human after all. Zen with an unfortunate, I'm going to call it an own goal. It was tapped in.
That's an own goal.
I'm going to call it an own goal there. The clear didn't come through. He had to jump out off the backboard, but ended up redirecting it back into his top left corner. And well, BDS, it looked like they were going to do it in regulation there, Shogun. It was a little bit of a messy win in the end, but they all look the same on the scoreboard at the end of the day.
I think the best way I can say it right now is BDS look good, but wobbly. And right now, they've got the first win. They can now start settling into this a little bit more and start believing that they can play their game. The big thing for me there, and I keep harping about this because it has been so important, BDS avoid...
But this is, it's almost, as we said, BDS, they're flirting with that third man. They're almost not playing as a third man and almost getting caught out in those situations. But sometimes you have to do that. Against Vitality, Shogun, you can't just be sitting in net. You can't just be resting on your laurels and hoping that Vitality own goal like Zen did there. Because it's not going to happen every single game.
Oh, Radosin, look for the top corner. Monkey Moon recovered it. And Monkey Moon looking for Rise. That's not going to happen. But Rise actually read Zen. That was a sort of read. Chamber didn't have the boost to deal with it. And Monkey Moon back down. Alpha going to the corner once again. Waiting for the support. Has he got it? Not quite. Everyone just holding back a little bit here. Currently Vitality probing a little bit, but this has been kind of a tame attempt from them to start off this game. The pace is kind of nowhere.
I was trying to work out what was happening in that corner.
I was wondering what was going on. I was like, sure, there's something I'm not seeing here.
It almost felt like a disconnect had happened just in comparison, in stark contrast to the first few games, but both teams figuring each other out. This can happen after a bit of a shift in momentum, as we said. BDS getting their first game on the board. Vitality perhaps changing a few things up, trying to figure out if they can find some momentum back into this game. Zen just pre-jumping. He's not worried about anything. He doesn't care about any sort of play style. He just wants to push forward. He wants to attack. But Seiko might be just that person to do that. Monkey Moon getting to work with Dosen again. He's on the wrong team. He throws it backwards. Monkey Moon with no boost has to track back here. And BDS, it feels like they have so much more time in defense now. Vitality have backed it up. They're happy to still pre-jump. And they're happy to still get to work in midfield. But the demos, as you said, Shogun, they're not quite as prominent.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Vitality are really trying to go for here. I don't know if they saw that last loss and they had a word and tried to change things up, as we do get one demo from Zen. How's that open up the gaps already? Backboarding goes Radosin, still playable. Seiko's touch requires a little bit of help. Now Zen, oh, that's on target, and Rise missed it, it's off the post. Taking their time, going wave after wave. Yes, the demos haven't been quite as prevalent, but Vitality have still been in the team in control of this game.
Yeah, they've had the pressure, they've had the field positioning right now, and the flip reset. Zen, there's so much respect every time he has a touch. Can Alpha conjure up something here? He's going high, gets the drop down. BDS are in shambles. It's an open net. Zen opts for the double, leaves it for a Dosen, and he says, well, I'll just pretend to pass it off the corner to Alpha. 54. Vitality get the first of the game.
I think he did actually pull himself off properly, so it was solid from Zen. The shot was looking for top corner, didn't quite happen. But Alpha is on form today. You know, I think many people would agree, Vitality got through despite Alpha not being at his level. Today, Alpha is at his level, and that's so scary.
When anyone on Vitality are on form, they can make a top four, they can make a grand final, but
they just need one. It's so horrible.
But when 2 or 3 are on, I mean, it feels like game over for any team in the world right now, how they're playing. And Well, BDS, they did get one game there, game number 3, but they need to find something here. Seiko needs to get to work. He's been quiet. He fakes it out for Rise, goes for the shot, but your man Shogun out for 54. He's doing it in offense, and he's getting to work in defense as well here. Dosen not getting much of a touch here. It's an interesting game to watch. It's certainly a sort of a style here. BDS almost opting for Vitality.
BDS should be ecstatic about this. Like, this is a much easier playstyle for them to go against. And more than anything else, they've actually looked uncomfortable. It's very, very strange. It's like they're expecting them to happen again. That's wasted. Rise pops the ball up. Anybody can get to there. Nobody's clicking. But Vitality are the ones that are in the lead for it.
Yeah, as you said, it should suit BDS, but they don't have the scoreboard to match it. Seiko, can he go for the cycle of the sidewall? Or the skin touch, should I say, is Zen. It's a great 50-50. Seiko throws the ball forward. Redosin, he's looking awkward in net, but he still has boost to work with. Does have to use all of it. The half rotation back into the corner is going to work here for Vitality, and well, they've just killed a lot of time off the clock here. 40 seconds left. BDS need to be pushing forward, going to work. Seiko, this could be the best opportunity for the game. And what a top slot shot from Monkey Moon.
Bang! The moment you saw Monkey Moon was there, you knew it only had one place to go. I knew it, everyone at home knew it, CJ knew it, and Vitality, they knew it. But there was no shot. They were going to save that one. One each. BDS back into this, and this is a very wide open game.
As soon as Seiko got that redirect, got that touch onto the sidewall, and there was no one there from Vitality, you could see that they were in trouble, but it still required Shogun. It still required an absolute belter of a shot.
It required the best hit possible.
And he has found it there as... Now BDS, they've got their goal, they've got the tie-up, but they want one more. They want to end it in regulation. They don't perhaps love these overtimes unless Zen can own goal for them here. 5 seconds left. Rise throwing it forward. Vitality, could they get the last attack, or is BDS going to try and drop this one down? Alpha, he's got other ideas, but Seiko should be able to put this one on deck. The 50s come through, and
all right, well, no kickoffs. No kickoffs, no kickoffs, no kickoffs, no kickoffs.
Please no kickoff goals, and for the 80th time this series, we have overtime.
It has very much been the case, but Vitality do have a tendency of winning these razor-thin situations. Zen gets a double commit. Puts Vitality into a lovely spot to start this overtime off. Seiko with Rise chasing down the opposite side of the field. Alpha turns, and he can keep going. That is absurd. Didn't quite get the flick that he was after on the reset. Ooh. So dangerous when he's able to do that.
Oh, not again. Monkey Moon is just honed in right now. His radar is locked as Rise goes sidewall, tries to find Monkey, and Monkey gets a huge beat out. Zen is ready for a pitch off the backboard somehow, and Alpha, he's pushing forward. Vitality can just attack out of nowhere. This team is so dangerous, can always get to work. Redosin flips out of the way, just perhaps baits Monkey Moon there into a challenge, and well, that touch isn't great, but it's almost so bad that Zen's not ready for it either. Vitality pushing forward, Alpha pushing forward, but touch goes wide. No follow-up there from Vitality that time.
Yeah, Vitality just didn't expect the ball to get that far. They were already on the rotation back home. He's still in a nice position. Alpha, one reset. That's awkward, and Rice jumped too early. BDS got in their own way, and they've handed this overtime over to their opponents.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is absolutely tragic. What just happened? Did the Platinum players enter the lobby? Because Rise and Seiko have just had the biggest miscommunication I've ever seen. Rise thought Seiko had it, Seiko thought Rise had it, and then Rise decided to just drop the ball off the front of his car and let Vitality walk the ball in. It was Zen last game going for an own goal, and that is as good of an own goal as you could get. He basically teed it up. He's playing the wrong sport. This isn't golf. BDS letting that one slip in overtime again.
I'm dumbfounded by that. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, maybe like a language issue between the two. I know one speaks French, one speaks English. You know, maybe that just didn't quite, you know, I got it. Maybe didn't quite send over. Wow. I mean, that's now triple match point Vitality.
It's got to be a communication issue. It certainly can't be a skill issue here. We're in the
There's no way Rise's first thought there was, yeah, I'm just going to trap the ball on my own goal line and jump early. Because the problem is he got to that ball, and the moment he has ball cam on, he now can't see Rise. He was blinded by the ball.
I mean,
mean, you can't see Zen. Sorry, my apologies.
Trust me, everyone knows watching at home that when your ranked teammate decides to control the ball in front of their own net, it is a recipe for disaster, and it is no different in the RLCS here. As well, BDS, they're going to have memories like Goldfish. They're going to have to forget about that one as a team and really lock in on their communication and their synergy right now. Because Vitality, they want to end this one and they want to push onwards to that grand final. Yet another grand final for this team, Vitality.
I love it when we can go very in-depth with our analysis, CJ. I really enjoy those, but I also really enjoy the times that we can say, yeah, why did that game end? Whoops, that's the reason.
It's all there is to it. There's not much else there. It was an absolute blunder from BDS, but Vitality did do that in the game before. We have to remember that Zen also handed them a goal, so maybe now the stakes or it's all settled now. It's even, but it's not even down that end because there's no one home from BDS. Yet another demo coming through and yet another open net for Vitality.
Well, the defender was on the field. Unfortunately, his car was scattered into pieces. No one left after that. 1-0, Vitality, who have been up against it in the last 2 games. It has been a little bit shaky, but you do wonder, can BDS now put that last game behind them? Because they were looking good. They seem to have something figured out, and they had Vitality not playing their game. Not another one. Oh my goodness. Monkeyman clears. Seiko to Rise. Gets the info. Oh, that's incredible. Well done, BDS.
That is absolutely lovely from BDS. This is what they were known for. They were doing this all day yesterday, just finding the extra pass, not opting for the shot. And Rise has been the catalyst every time in those sort of situations. Sometimes it's the 1-2s, the 1-2-3s. That time it was just a lovely infield pass on the goal line. And maybe another kickoff goal. Rise, can he walk it in? Alpha getting bumped, but he just dodges it in time. Seiko hunting it down, and now a counter-attack. Monkey Moon's awkward. Seiko's missed. Radosin has missed. Everyone has missed.
Well, BDS turned their rotation into a pretzel, and they've got away with it. Vitality maybe expected a little more, and it never came, and it was fine. We stay at 1 each, although that might be about to change. Monkey Moon with Seiko. Zen jumps early. He's jumped far too early. Going low. Oh my goodness, I am liking this. The low challenges from BDS. That's something a little new to this series.
I just love when they find each other. I love when they find each other downfield, or perhaps when Seiko goes for the solo play. Monkey Moon follow up. He goes wide. Can Rise bury it? You betcha. Second goal on the board from BDS, and it comes through an offensive barrage. It was the team play in the first goal, and this time it was relentless pressure.
They've caught Vitality slipping twice now. 2 separate occasions, Vitality just, for the first time maybe in the entire time I've seen them, just looked completely confused as to how to defend. They didn't know who was supposed to go. I know BDS had a little bit of that problem as well in the last game. But for BDS, I mean, if they are going to make this comeback happen, you would take Vitality stepping off the gas a little bit and maybe having a few whoopsies of their own. Here's Alpha, goes low on the challenge. Monkey Moon only as far as Radosin. Good recovery, reset secured. Seiko meets him early. BDS, oh, it's another miss, and that's another goal!
Massive mistake from BDS again in defense here. Seiko gets the 50 dunk. Monkey has to help Rise out his awkward front post. He can't get any sort of touch on it. It's not always his fault there. He was out of position and had to make a tough read, but a couple of defensive mistakes there from BDS. You cannot, it feels like you cannot make any mistakes against Vitality. They let them back in here. Came tied up, but BDS getting pressure off kickoff. Seiko is playing so aggressive, pushing forward, looking for bumps. And Radosin falling onto that boost will mean Vitality get a free counter-attack. Zen perhaps getting a free flip reset, but not quite get the touch.
BDS will see this as a great opportunity because the way these games have gone, Vitality have been beatable. There are times where showing up to the field was about as good as you were getting. This time has not been the case. Vitality have made mistakes. And BDS still find themselves 3-1 down in the series. Need this next goal. They need Rice to avoid being bumped, and he narrowly did it.
He almost turned his car there sideways just to avoid it. It's certainly a fantastic dodge and avoided a certain goal for Vitality. They just cannot concede here, BDS. Want to force that game number 6, get their second win of the series and try and extend this game. We know they can do it. Everyone on BDS just letting Radosin do his thing there and perhaps happy to see what he could manage, and it wasn't fantastic there from him. And BDS now, they're still on defense and they're missing the boost. Radosin sweeping through. That's fantastic. Rise is just chain dashing, but he's broken his own ankles on the sidewall. Someone give that guy a manual because he doesn't know how to do them. he's very awkward. Alpha throws the ball. He's got the flip reset. Rise pops the ball up. He's off the sidewall. That'll be good for BDS fans as Radosin fakes it out for Alpha. He's got the boost to work with. Monkey Moon 50s. Zen tries to offload the ball. Radosin's in the same spot. Another positional mistake from Vitality, but they get out of it and somehow are still on offense. BDS, it feels like they're falling apart a little bit. Alpha, he's dancing with him. He's got a flip reset. He's got the 50. Zen can't put it away, and neither can Radosin.
How on earth is that ball not in? Now Seiko, opposite side, goes low on the challenge once again. Well, these overtimes don't tend to last too long. Will we even need it? Seiko low boost. The ball's gone underneath him. Radosin doesn't have anybody up in support, but here comes Alpha. Rises in net, and it's got in! Team Vitality move on, and we'll have 2 lives in the grand finals.
It's Alpha 54 again, and it's Vitality clutching up again. Rise in net, just couldn't get that ball out of the net. He tried hard, but in the end, Vitality, the offense all series long was unrelenting. They kept pushing forward. And although BDS fought hard, they grabbed a game in the series. They tried to wrestle back that momentum. This Vitality snowball Shogun just feels enormous.
Man, that's rough if you're BDS, because there was only one game there where it was unwinnable for you, and that was game 1. Everything outside of that was overtimes, 1-goal games, you know, small mistakes where the game suddenly slips away from you and Vitality take the win. That hurts an awful lot. They are going to have to put that behind themselves because, well, they've got to come back later on. And if they want to now win this tournament, they're going to have to beat Vitality twice in the grand finals, get that reset, and then basically triple up Vitality's overall loss record with this squad. So, you know, nothing too difficult.
They've got a couple of absolute superstar teams awaiting them in the lower bracket as well. No, Vitality, they look fantastic there. They made, well, one big blunder was the Zen own goal, but it only led to 1 game, and then they win it 4-1. So even when they do make a mistake, it's a one mistake and fix it kind of mentality there, Shogun. But I am absolutely pumped because in that lower bracket, ladies and gentlemen, forget about Vitality BDS. Forget about the upper bracket final. The grand final is going to be upon us next time. And what I'm telling you there is the lower bracket semi-final. K-Corp taking on the kings of the gold mines. Hogan mode. Don't go anywhere.